the mating call of a Canadian moose. And now, a yak. Oh, a peanut. Yes, I do have one right here. It's bulky, but I consider it carry on. Oh, I see. Yummy! Chickaga! Alrighty then, my royal chubs. It is I, Daniel. You may call me the pop culture dude. And today, we have another Jim Carrey related video. Since if you don't know, for those of you who do know, that's gravy. But for those of you who don't know, Jim Carrey is my favorite movie actor of all time. I eventually got retweeted by him on Twitter by doing my Dr. Robotnik Where Evil Grows dance. And it was a childhood dream come true, and eventually it's great that he made his big comeback on the big screen in Sonic the Hedgehog. But let's not forget the most iconic role with those of you who grew up in the 90s or in case watch this movie, it's none other than Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and When Nature Calls, which is the sequel to Pet Detective. But now, I just want to get to the topic of the rumors of Ace Ventura 3. What is the title? What is the rumors? What is going on to this world of society? Well, just to be prepared, if you haven't noticed, see what's on my t-shirt. Just gonna stand up and look what came out of my exact, and look, I have the Carrey Bunch t-shirt where I have Ace Ventura, The Mask, The Grinch, Lloyd Christmas, The Riddler, Count Olaf Robotnik, Andy Kaufman. So, as I stand from my swivel chair, I'm just gonna get to these rumors by saying, is Ace Ventura 3 happening? Is Jim Carrey open to the role again? Hold up. Let's see that in instant replay. So, anyway, sorry if I'm acting a little crazy today. It's just that the last time that Jim Carrey has done a sequel before Dumb and Dumber 2, Ace Ventura When Nature Calls was a sequel to be Greenlight where he's my apologies, where he signed into a contract to be a part of the sequel with Morgan Creek Studios, who eventually produced the rights of the first two Ace Ventura movies. And technically, Jim was in the mood to reprise his role just because he doesn't like repeating the same characters over and over again, but in a way that they decided to do a sequel that cost like over $30 million.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp. You can't triple stamp a double stamp, Lloyd. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. Lloyd, you.
I cannot speak today. $30 million on the budget, but also he got paid like half the budget that he gets, $15 million when he starred in the sequel. And the sequel was a smash hit, but guess what? Ace Ventura When Nature Calls was the main reason why he's not a big fan of doing sequels ever since the production of When Nature Calls burned him out like on set. But now, eventually, we keep hearing rumors of Ace Ventura 3, which is the main reason why The Mask 2 was cancelled, but we will get to that. Back in December of 2019, online, we got this cover, the most clickbaiting website that you'll ever see, where it's not always reliable. It's in a way they said, oh, Ace Ventura 3's in the works with Jim Carrey, who is eventually going to be approved to sign in the contract to be in Ace Ventura 3. But I'm like, I don't know, you may be lying to us. Let's see who's lying, shall we? But there's a little bit of source evidence background. I'm like, what if it's not fake? Why? Because Morgan Creek, the official studio that produced both the Ace Ventura films, on Twitter just approved by saying Ace Ventura 3 is on the go, just waiting for Jim Carrey's approval. So I'm just saying, really? Is it actually really happening, or they're eventually just teasing or just acknowledging it, but there's no confirmation? So does that mean Ace Ventura 3 is confirmed? Wrongo, it's not confirmed. It's just a speculation, a rumored idea. But from the latest rumor besides, is Jim gonna return to Ace Ventura 3? Hold on. When I tell the story about Ace Ventura 2, in order for Ace Ventura 3 to work, Jim Carrey himself has to be genuinely on board to play the character again with a strong purpose. He can't do it for the sake of sweet moolah and sweet cash, or the sake of we want fan demand so we can feel nostalgic again. That's not the case. That shouldn't be the reason. In order for him to come back to as Ace Ventura, he needs to have that strong purpose, but also that same elements as he feels from the first Ace Ventura movie, because without Jim Carrey, there is no Ace Ventura. And guess what? They tried to do that with the direct-to-TV spin-off, Ace Ventura Pet Detective Jr. And if you don't, if you're saying like, why is it so bad if you're just mocking it, Daniel? Well, allow me to clarify. Just watch a couple of these clips from Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
Jim Carrey is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Africa will never be the same.
I'm alive! I'm alive!
Jim Carrey,
Do I have something in my teeth?
Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls.
Say hello to my stinky little friend.
And Ace Ventura: Pet Detective Jr.
Tabby's been nabby. I hear a whole lot of lost pets calling my name. Come to me, my jungle friends!
Look for Ace Ventura Jr. Pet Detective.
Allrighty then.
Yeah. If I had to say a comparison, the first two Ace Ventura movies are like the first two Home Alone movies, and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective Jr. is Home Alone 3, and if that makes sense to you, if you know what I'm talking about, where they basically, the studio where your main actor doesn't want to reprise for another sequel or do the same role that makes them break out into their career, you decide to make an unrelated sequel that is barely linked to the originals and decide to be like, oh, let's put in a new cast. It's not, just ignore the continuity of the other ones. Why? Because we need to keep this franchise alive. I mean, like we said, Ace Ventura has an underrated franchise because obviously you got the classic 1994 film, the sequel When Nature Calls, an animated TV show. Yeah, they made an animated cartoon based on Ace Ventura where he crossed over with another fan favorite Jim Carrey character and a personal favorite movie of mine, The Mask, where we have double the Carrey, double the mayhem, and also we got an Ace Ventura computer game, and then the TV spinoff on Cartoon Network that was unnecessary, which is complete doo-doo. So we're gonna ignore that, and we cannot forget the sweet, sweet merchandise like a glove. So either way, we're like, okay, if Ace Ventura 3 is going to happen or not, what is it gonna be about? Since we know for sure Jim Carrey's only 59 years old, so it will make sense. Similar to Dumb and Dumber 2, which is another sequel that he has done. And after Dumb and Dumber 2, still it's not the biggest fan of sequels, but he did the Dumb and Dumber sequel just because the sake of fan demand, the door of the script. Basically like that. That's how Jim should feel for Ace Ventura 3. Especially, wait, is he gonna come back as Eggman or Robotnik in Sonic the Hedgehog movie 2? Don't worry, he will. He has found his investment, his fun, his enjoyment of Dr. Robotnik. He loves the exploration of the character, and he hasn't reached his apotheosis yet, so don't worry. You'll see Jim Carrey as Robotnik again in the Sonic movie sequel. Ace Ventura, however, we'll see. But like I said, it will definitely make sense for Dumb and Dumber 2 where Lloyd is faking his disease for 20 years and Ace maybe could retire his pet detection because, you know, it's not that relevant anymore. Not that much animals are being in complete danger at this moment. So Ace probably just hang up his Hawaiian shirt, decide to mess up with the deal, and technically Ace is just no more and just retired. If I would put like the idea of the story, but now we've got some interesting rumors. There's a rumor that Ace Ventura 3 may feature the son, not Junior, a new son that is eyed from an eye-leading X-Men star. And spoiler alert, if you have not seen the new Disney Plus Marvel show WandaVision, Evan Peters, yes, QuickSilver, from the Fox X-Men movies of Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix, and also in Marvel's WandaVision on Disney Plus on episode 5 and 6, he's considered to play the son of Ace Ventura. And I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm just gonna go to full detail with my handy dandy tablet. Let me just go back. Ace Ventura 3, being considered with Evan Peters as son of Jim Carrey's pet detective, and Ace Ventura sequels rumored to be in the works with X-Men star Evan Peters being eye for the lead. Okay, what do I think of Evan Peters of potentially being the son of Ace Ventura? Well, here are my personal thoughts. I think Evan Peters is awesome. His QuickSilver is amazing, including in the X-Men movies, where he has so much slow motion moments, including with great songs like Sweet Dreams Are Made of These. And don't get me wrong, he is a funny guy, but I just don't see that much Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey comedy level. Like, Evan Peters' comedy and Jim's comedy is completely different if you try to compare the most. And I understand because when I put the thumbnail, QuickSilver's comic book hair of Evan Peters kind of reminds me of the white devil hair in Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. Nobody messes with the dew! So it reminded me of that, so I'm like, okay, not too shabby if you like to point out. But let me just continue. Alrighty then. A new rumor has emerged claiming that Ace Ventura 3 is in the works with X-Men star Evan Peters, reportedly being after a take of a hugely popular Pet Detective, originally portrayed by Jim Carrey. The idea to bring in Peters as the son of Carrey's character, which much like his father, has an affinity of animals, Hawaiian shirts, and a giant pompadour-style hairdos. While there's a very little information regarding a proposed Ace Ventura 3, this rumor does come from a fairly reliable source, and while Evan Peters does not quite show any manic energy or rubber-faced delights, because like I said, his comedy style is different. It's not facial expression or physicality slapstick humor like Jim does, so that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I like Evan Peters, but I just don't think he'll be the right fit. Just cast someone like, I don't know, jury trainer from iCarly. I could see him as a young Ace, or the YouTuber Mark Stars, or even a better casting choice, me!
Thank you for your cooperation. Our work here is done.
Alrighty then. Take care now. Bye-bye then. All jokes aside, I'm just kidding. I bet that's not gonna happen, but that'll be a dream come true. I just gotta change my skin color to be more Canadian in a way in my DNA, if that was the case. But anyway, back to the casting choices. But I'm just saying, just couldn't find someone better a little bit than Evan Peters. But if he is cast, then good luck on that. So, let me just continue. Evan's star is undeniably rises to the moment in big franchises like X-Men and American Horror Story, and whilst his mysterious role in the Disney Plus Marvel series, WandaVision, make it a prime Hollywood real estate inspired choice to lead for an Ace Ventura sequel. Audiences first laid eyes on Ace Ventura way back in 1994's Ace Ventura Pet Detective. Same for Jim Carrey's zany title character, Ace is hired by the Miami Dolphins when their dolphin mascot, Snowflake, is subsequently abducted. Soon, Miami Dolphins players began disappearing too, including star player Dan Marino, played by himself, making Ace sleuth work even more pressing, working with Dolphins representative Melissa Robertson. Ace gradually closes in cultures, but not before utterly quotable catchphrases along the way. Like a glove! And Ace Ventura Pet Detective spawned a sequel, Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, which finds the private investigator being summoned to an Africa to locate a missing bat, which happens to be not the one creature that he despises. Another huge financial success. Neither the sequel nor its predecessors weren't well received by critics. I know. But both movies have huge popularity amongst general audiences, because I do say that Ace Ventura is hands down one of the best comedy lead protagonists in cinema history. So, like I said, this character is remaining of one of Carrey's most beloved creations, because it's my second favorite Jim Carrey character after The Mask. So, should Evan Peters be brought in Ace Ventura's son? This will not be the first time that such an approach has been tried. Released in 2009, Ace Ventura Jr. Pet Detective stars Josh Flitter as Ace Ventura Jr., the son of Ace Ventura, who must follow in his father's footsteps in his order to save his mother from going to jail. Since when Ace was married and since when he had a son? That makes no sense. So, a low rent for made TV casting for Ace Ventura Jr. Pet Detective had zero involvement of Carrey, neither writer Steve Oderkirk or the fact you never heard of it before you until now. So, yeah, that's a point. Like, okay, if you're gonna do the Ace Ventura son moment, and if Jim Carrey's out of the picture, then why are you calling it Ace Ventura 3? It seems like you're making a soft reboot to the franchise. I guess it's like Ghostbusters Afterlife, where you have the new generation and the old. So, if that's gonna be the case, then I probably might not see it, because if I say the name Ace Ventura Pet Detective, it has to be the actor who plays him on the big screen, Jim Carrey. But that's only if he's on board. You can hire Tom Shadyac, who made the first movie. You can hire Steve Oderkirk, who made the sequel. You can hire the best comedy directors that you can ever pitch to make the third movie. But in order to make this a true proper Ace Ventura sequel, you could still do the son concept, unless if it's like a father-son duo, like, alrighty son, let's see what your bowl pops do to tackle this polar bear! Ha! And then the son will be like, Alrighty, Dad. Like a glove? Thank you very much. That's what I'm saying, like, Pet Detective father, like Pet Detective son. If it was like that, then I'm like, okay, it'll be fine. And if Ace is gonna go in retirement, then it will make sense, like, he's passing the torch by saying, here, son, you take care of my Pet Detective badge, my Hawaiian shirt, and my shoes. And it's gonna be like, I'm gonna miss Ace Ventura Sr. if that was the case. So that's what I'm saying. If it's like that, then it is. But if Jim Carrey's not gonna be involved, but you're gonna, sake of making cash grabs to make another Ace Ventura movie without Carrey, then don't do it. Don't do it for the sake of money, and don't do it for the sake of nostalgia pairing. Just do your best just to reintroduce Ace Ventura for both the young and the old audience. And as I said before, but the only person that can make Ace Ventura 3 work is Jim Carrey himself. And that's why if it's Evan Peters' cast, like I said, I don't think he's the best one. Still like him though. Just don't think he's the best one. Just cast me or any of these people I mentioned. So that's why I'm just hoping for sure. Especially same thing for the Mask sequel. And thanks to Ace Ventura 2, that was the main reason why I never want to get a sequel to the Mask. And even though last year 2020 he said he will do it under one condition for Sonic, obviously he will play Robotnik again in the Sonic movie sequel. But for the Mask, it needs a crazy visionary filmmaker because that movie is precious to me. Same thing for Ace Ventura. I'm like, Ace Ventura is a high bar. You cannot mess this up because if you do, I have a reflexes of a cat and a speed of a mongoose. Go ahead, reboot Ace. I dare ya. So I got my eyes on you if this rumor's happening. But anyway, that's it for the Ace Ventura 3 rumors. If it's officially real, then I'll be like, yes, yes, oh yeah, can you feel that funny? So if I do that, I'll get excited. But if not, then I guess this video was a waste of your time and pretty much clickbaiting for the views to make this itty bitty small channel grow to 1,000 subs. So yeah, so thank you all for watching this video. I spank you all very much and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care now. Bye bye then.